Hello everyone, I'm Akshata Pant from Political Science Honours, 4th semester, and today I'm going to give a presentation on legislative process in India. To the legislative process, the basic function of Parliament is to make laws, amend them, or repeal them. The process of lawmaking or the legislative process in relation to Parliament may be defined as a process by which a legislative proposal brought before it is translated into the law of the land. All legislative proposals are brought before the Parliament in the forms of bill. A bill is a statute in the draft form and cannot become law unless it has received the approval of both the Houses of Parliament and the assent of the President of India. The process of lawmaking begins with the introduction of a bill in either House of Parliament. A bill can be introduced either by a minister or a member other than a minister. In the former case, it is known as a government bill, and in the latter case, it is known as a private member's bill. So now that we covered the introduction, we will come to the legislative process of India, in which the legislative procedure for states with bicameral legislatures requires that proposed bill be passed at least in the state's lower house or the Vidhan Sabha and not mandatory to be passed in the upper house or the Vidhan Parishad. In the first reading, we will know to how a bill becomes a law. In the first reading, there are two types of bills, the government bill and the private bill. And if leave is granted by the House, the bill introduced, this stage is known as the first reading of the bill. In the second reading, we have two parts, the first stage and the second stage. In the first stage consists of general discussion of the bill as a whole when the principle underlying the bill is discussed. In this stage, it is open to the House to refer to the bill to a selective committee of the House. In the second stage of the second reading consists of clause by clause consideration of the bill as introduced or as reported by the select joint committee. In the third and the last reading, the debate is confined to arguments either in the support or the rejection of the bill. It is very important to notice that without referring to the details thereof further than that are absolutely necessary. Only formal, verbal or consequential amendments are allowed to be moved at this stage. Then the other thing is the passing of the bill. And at any time during a meeting of a house there is no quorum, which is minimum 1/10 of the total members of the house. It shall be the duty of the chairman or speaker or the person acting as such either the adjourn of the house or to be suspended the meeting until there is a quorum. Other point in this legislative process is the bill in the other house. Bill in the other house means that after the bill is passed by the one house of the Parliament, it is sent to the other house for concurrence with a message to the effect. If a bill is passed by one house, is amended by the other house, it is sent back to the originating house for approval. In the joint session of both houses, the Parliament may summon, though it is not bound, a joint session of the two houses which is presided over by the Speaker of the Lok Sabha and the deadlock is resolved by the simple majority. So any approval is any corruption of the bill and any approval of the bill is resolved by the majority. In the President's approval, because the President approval is very very important in the passing of the law, as we all know from the starting of the introduction of the bill. When a bill has been passed, it is sent to the President for his approval for Article 111. And however, Article 255 says that prior recommendation of the President or a government of the state wherever stipulated is not compulsory for an act of Parliament or the legislative of a state, but still the consent of the President is very important and it is mandatory for the President to give the consent. President may be of the view that a particular bill is passed under the legislative powers of Parliament is violating the Constitution. He can send back the bill it is his choice. If he see anything wrong with the bill, he can send back the bill with his recommendation to pass the bill under the constituent powers of Parliament following the Article 368 procedure. President shall not withhold constitutional amendment. That is very, very important for us to notice. The Parliament, in the Parliament, the President gives his assent. The bill is published in the Gazette of India. It is very important to know that these are very important points. When it comes to coming into forces, when the bill comes into forces, why is it so important? Generally, most acts will come into force because if the both houses agree, and if the president has agreed, it has become the legality and enforceable in a manner as prescribed in the act itself. So it is very important to know that it will come into effect from the date of assent by the president, and or if any specific date is given or mentioned by the act, or there is a specific date given in the financial bill itself or any budget itself, then it will be mentioned and it will be ascended then, or in date as per the wish of the central government. So it is very important to notice that the date matters a lot because it will come into force on that particular day, and it will be remembered as that day from that day onwards. In this chart, we can see the refer of the community before the second reading, that what happens to the committee, and the traditional process, and what is the traditional process, that how the minister gives it to the first reading, then the second reading, and it goes to the committee, and then the third reading. Also, it is defining the committee prepares and brings the bill. So it is very important to notice, very, very important to notice. Also, one of the most important thing is the role of standing committee in reviewing the bill, and in this we have given currently there are 24 such committees organized on the lines standing committee, and these standing committee examine the bills that are referred to them. They also examine the expenditure plans of ministry in the union budget. Each committee has 31 members. It is very important to know that. We should remember it. 31 members from the Lok Sabha and 10 from Rajya Sabha. Parties are allocated seats based on their strength in parliament, and we should also know that most bills are referred to such committees, but this is not a mandatory requirement because the committee system is that's why it is formed for the feedback, that whatever it is happening there, like the vote and the amendments to finalize the bills, if a bill is not referred to a committee and passed by one house, the other house may constitute a select committee for detailed examination. So these points are very important to know. And on some recent examples, like we can say the prevention of torture bill by the Rajya Sabha and the Waqf amendment bill, these are very important bills to remember. Also, there are also some instances when a bill may be passed without the committee process. So we should also take that. We should not always claim that it cannot happen. Also the legal consultants. What do you mean by legal consultants? It is the clients, and it are the people who give us the advice and the legal advisory that is very important for us and the government itself, because legislative consulting involves, as is written here, that it provides clients with legal advisory services and education of assistance with respect to drafting and implementing new legislations and amending existing legislation to ensure that the legislative consent that the customer wishes to implement are reflected in the legislation. So it is very important for us to have the legal framework, and also with the framework and rules of regulations when it comes to the legislative procedure. In the conclusion, we can see that legislative continued to exercise the most decisive role in the advancement of a people, especially under a democratic regime. So we should know that the rules, regulations, are very important, the legal consultants are very important, the standing committee is very important. It's not just the parliament or the bill itself or the president itself, but also all the bureaucratics involved in them, all the standing committee involved in them, all the consultants involved in them, and the dates and the articles are very important in the legal procedures in making of a bill. The legislature became the source of the entire administrative system. It is very important to notice that the process of administration are initiated by the legislative assemblies, which reflected the whims and fancies of the people. The welfare and happiness of the inhabitants were largely looked after the legislative councils. Under the parliamentary system of government, the legislature assumed greater significance. This is very important to notice. That under the parliamentary system, like, these are very significance of the legislature. The success of a democracy usually depended upon the nature, composition, powers and privileges of its legislative bodies, known in different names in councils, assemblies and parliaments. So I hope that we understood it very thoroughly, and because this is a very easy topic, and it also very important topic to cover. So I hope everyone gets it like me, and thank you so much, and bye bye.